TV. Play me a soca parang. Jumbo baby. Parang so nice and parang so sweet. Soca parang. Wind up your waist and dance to the beat. Inside the parang. I don't want no sorry lunch in there. I ain't drinking them things this year. This Christmas all I want is Spanish woman of Paranes. In a river, from your below, and just below, don't be right, from I see her, and I want her. I got I try all them other woman before, all other woman, but them Spanish mujer is all I adore. Them Spanish woman, I like to see them when they walk and whine. You full love and tenderness is so fine. You know how to cut and how to contrive to keep their family alive. So this year I want to take home a Spanish woman from Aruba, Spanish woman from Cumana, Spanish woman from BounXup. Bring them in here.
The manifest. Only you. New dance. They are like this. Only you chucking with the PNM. Everybody rolling with the PNM. All the stuff moving with the PNM. The PNM. The PNM. New dance with the PNM. The PNM. Only you and all the children. New dance with the PNM. PNM. The PNM. The PNM. Right foot. Palisade. Left foot. Palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. Right foot. Palisade. Left foot. Palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. The new dance is called the palisade. PNM. Them are the best. Only you. New dance. They are like this. Only you chucking with the PNM. Everybody rolling with the PNM. All the steppers moving with the PNM. With the PNM. With the PNM. New dance for the PNM. The PNM. All the youths and all the children. New dance for the PNM. PNM. The PNM. PNM. Right foot, palisade. Left foot, for happiness. Then deliver all the promises. Integrity at its finest. New dance, palisade, just do it. New dance, palisade, just do it. Red flag, red rag, just show it. Red rag, red flag, just show it. Only you chant for the PN, the P. With the PNM. All the steppers moving with the PNM. With the PNM, with the PNM. New dance for the PNM, the PNM. All the youths and all the children. New dance for the PNM, PNM. Everybody just do the palisade. Right foot, palisade. Left foot, palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. The new dance is called the palisade. Them other party can't test. PNM is pure happiness. Them deliver all the promises. Integrity at its finest. New dance, palisade, just do it. New dance, palisade, just do it. Red flag, red rag, just show it. Red rag, red flag, just show it. Only you chucking with the PN, the PN. Everybody rolling with the PN, PN. All the steppers moving with the PNM, with the PNM, with the PNM. New dance for the PN, the PN. Only youths and all the children. New dance for the PNM, for the PNM, for the PNM. Right foot, palisade. Left foot, palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. Right foot, palisade. Left foot, palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. The new dance is called the palisade. Mr. Rowley and Nookie run the place. No other party can step in your face. PNM well and know that when the race. All them other party red fake. Palisade, palisade. Hey, everybody just do the palisade. Hey, palisade, palisade. Hey, palisade, palisade. Everybody just do the palisade. Hey, palisade. Yo, CNM to the world. I was sleeping time. Sleeping time. Oh, sleeping time. I was in the laboratory when somebody showed me him. Somebody said that I'm not today. The boss could take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, going to the convention. When we walk in, big spin and ting. Oh Lord, what a session. In the hand was a plan and he started to jam. He hit them bam, bam, bam. Somebody say you got to like the man. He had a touch of Eric William. Hallelujah. We ain't making no dosage mistake. Hallelujah. Sleeping time. Sleeping time. Oh, sleeping time.
Mic check 1, 2.
I was in the laboratory when somebody showed me him. Somebody said that I'm not today. The boss could take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud.
What a pleasant good night going out to each and everyone in Barcode right now.
One thing, oh Lord, what a session.
Welcome one and all.
Was a plan and he started to jam. He hit them bam, bam, bam. Somebody say
For those of you who wondering where the cocktail bar is, it's located outside on the outside deck. So if you're looking for the cocktail bar, just step outside and look to your right, head over, get a drink, free up yourself. All right, tonight it's all about community conversations, and we outside. We're gonna get down to business in a short while. All right.
sleeping time. Sleeping time. Oh, sleeping time.
Yeah.
I was in the laboratory when somebody showed me him. Somebody said that I'm not today. The boss could take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, going to the convention. When we walk in, big spin and ting. Oh Lord, what a session. In the hand was a plan and he started to jam. He hit them bam, bam, bam. Somebody say you got to like the man. He had a touch of Eric William. Hallelujah. We ain't making no dosage mistake. Hallelujah. What the opposition get, they go take. Hallelujah. When I say okay, you know what I mean. Hallelujah. Get all your room and sleep in this country clean. Hallelujah. We can't fail. Hallelujah. Next in the tail. Hallelujah. Great is the B&M. It shall reveal. Sleeping time. Sleeping time. Sleeping time. One nation is say one people today, a dynamic diversity. A party strong because all along we celebrate our plurality. Equality right across the board, everybody have a chance. That's why all around every place in town is Lucas leading the dance. We talking about the ultra-modern social infrastructure. Education become priority one on the national agenda. Hallelujah. We ain't making no dosage mistake. Hallelujah. So when them opposition get they go take. Hallelujah.
Nice. So, oh boy, like I'm a cockroach in my throat, but hey, oh boy. All right, everybody. So before I go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is All Star Aaron, and officially, I would like to welcome each and every one of you here tonight. Welcome to something we're going to call community conversations. This is the finale. So I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight, making it your duty to be here. Yeah. I've seen some familiar faces in the building, so I'm happy with that. Shout out to my boy Quincy, my big brother. Nako, I see you. You good? All right. So tonight, here what's going on? Tonight is a vibe. Right? First thing I want to let you know, tonight is all about a vibe. We're vibing, we're hanging out, we're chilling, we're easing the tension a little bit, we're taking a little drink, and we're going to converse. All right? All you good with that? Lovely. So, before we really get into the real deal tonight, I want to welcome the man who is leading the Tobago Council of the PNM right now, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis. But tonight I feel like I could just say Ansel. I could say Ansel. Welcome, Ansel, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Give him a round of applause. All right? So welcome. And tonight, we have some special guests in the building as well. So we're gonna chat with the youths tonight. We're gonna hear some of their concerns, see what they're into, see what they want to see for the future of Tobago, as we say Tobago first, right? So tonight is all about that. We're here, we at Barcode. If you're feeling for a little drink, remember the bar is, once you step out on the bar is on your right hand side. All right, so you know what to do. So we're holding our vibes tonight. We have some special guests in the building tonight. I have my boy Quincy Trim. He's going to be on the platform tonight. He's going to speak to you guys tonight, all right? So big up to Quincy. 𝐂𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐴 is here tonight as well. 𝐂𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐴 Forbes. Also, we're going to talk to Tam as well, all right? And who else we have in the building? By Fanta Carrington. You're going to say something tonight for us, right? Lovely. All right, so we're going to touch on various topics tonight. But remember, we're liming, we're chilling, we're holding a vibe. So we want no tension, anything. If you had a little stress today, you know the boss stressed out today, yeah, what's going on? We're easing all that tension here tonight, right here at Barcode. So, boss, you feel we can get in at one time?
Yeah, let me just say a couple words.
What? Let me bounce you low here now.
No, if you keep the music running.
Yep. A little thing? All right.
Keep it low.
Right.
No, I asked him about the one order.
Nice.
All right, well, let me say good evening to everybody. How are you feeling? Everybody went by the bar already? Well, the bar is self-serve tonight, but don't overdo it. Pour the drinks light. Since the last budget, alcohol went up, right? So take it easy. But let me welcome all of you to Community Conversations finale. And this evening is about the young people. We will be talking to several young people on issues like sports, tourism, orange economy, entrepreneurship, and otherwise. So we just want you to have a good time, have some drinks, let's have some conversation. And at some point in time, we'll open the floor for everybody to pose questions to me. So I'm willing to answer any question that you may want to ask. And as we know, no question is a dumb question. All right, so welcome again to all of you. And let me get this thing cracking.
Yeah, so what I want to do, we want to get into it one time because I don't feel like we have time to waste tonight. Yeah, you know, let me get into it one time.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Right, so. You're looking like you're ready, so. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, here what's going on? We ain't going to waste no time. I want to bring to the stage to have a conversation with the future Chief Sec of Tobago. We're speaking it into existence, right? I want to bring to the stage to have a conversation with the future Chief Sec of Tobago, Ansel K. Dennis, 𝐂𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐴 Forbes. And let me touch on the topic of sports one time now. Let me start it now, 𝐂𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐴. Only stage one time out there. Look at your mic up. Are you ready? Oh man. Yes, I.
Good. Good.
He's so strange being up here.
Feel strange being up here?
Yeah, strange.
When last you go on stage? It's been a while.
Interdepartment.
Well, firstly, interdepartment. That was something else.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, tell the people something about Kimika Forbes quickly.
Okay, so my name is 𝐂𝐸𝐾 Forbes. I'm Trinidad and Tobago Women's Female National Goalkeeper. I am in the presence of retiring soon. I'm also the sister of the prospective candidate for Black Rock, Karen Forbes. And aka PNM flag woman. Can't miss me. Right? And a Wim Anglican primary school girls coach. Football. I love to entertain, I love to have fun, and I love my Red Army.
Good. So we're talking sports. So tell me.
So, Mr. Anthony Dennis, we're going right into it.
Right.
As a sports athlete, there's so much that could be done for sports in Tobago, right? And we treat sports like we put sports and education on the back burner, and we need to prioritize sports a little bit more, right? For me, I take pride in what I do when it comes to sports, and
Let them turn it up there. All right.
right. So my conversation answer would be based on experience, being as a national athlete, right? And I'm just basically saying that a little bit more needs to be done. And then sometimes we're so focused on the financial part of sports and not worrying about the actual facilities that we need. Yeah, the actual facilities we need to actually provide the service that we need. There's funding. And when we go to apply for funding, the first thing they say, they don't have no money for funding. So how could you get a program for funding and you don't have no money for when we apply for this funding, right? There's so much track and field clubs in Tobago. There's so much football clubs. For example, look at Phoenix. Phoenix club at the moment trains in Patience Hill. Their field is unavailable to them.
Wow.
And they had no lights. And that is something that's very hard. They played all their games last year in Trinidad. Only pro team from Tobago. And they played all their games in Trinidad. No facilities. Right? We have one facility, Dwight York Stadium. Right? And we need to differentiate now, hear what's going on. In these community fields, we need to know here what Shaw Park is for cricket or Shaw Park is for football. Plymouth is for football. But you can't tell me Plymouth is for football and put a whole cricket pitch in football in Plymouth. You can't tell me this time is for football in Shaw Park and then you come in and tell me it's closed for cricket. So when we have all these facilities, we need to say here what? This is for cricket. This is for football. This is for tennis. Right? Another observation. Shaw Park hard courts. Right? They under reconstruction. Tennis right now, I think they are in Patience Hill. And that's only one club. And it's so hard that they are not allowed to use the complex for training. And if you guys don't know, there's a tennis athlete currently in Miami from the Crusoe I Club, currently in competition. Right? And a lot more needs to be done. We take sports for granted too many times.
Definitely.
Right? So, Mr. Dennis, I have 3 questions for you tonight. The first one, under your stewardship, what investment will be made in quality sporting fields, gyms, and indoor facilities across the communities? Because that's supposed to be a priority for our athletes.
All right. Well, let me start by saying that firstly, thanks to the People's National Movement, Tobago as an island has the most sporting facilities per population head than anywhere else in the region. Now, of course, the major issue we have now is maintenance. And I was shocked when I heard her said that Phoenix Football Club is training in Patience Hill.
Patience Hill.
So what happened to Canaan ground? No lights. And you see, it's about priorities, eh? Because to fix the lights is about, let's say, $20,000. Right? Might be around that or a little more. So they do have $20,000 to fix the lights, but they're flying all over the place. $25 million in airfare and accommodation for secretaries over the last 4 years alone. So it's about priorities. So we have to ensure that we pay attention to the maintenance of the existing facilities. And I want to say, as a commitment to the people of Tobago, when you elect the next PNM administration to the Tobago House of Assembly, we will place priority on sport in terms of the maintenance of the facilities. There will no longer be a situation where our sporting teams, our athletes in communities want to use a facility and it's overgrown with bush and it's like a pasture for sheep and goats to graze. We will put an end to that. Now, in terms of additional facilities, we started the Bacolet Indoor Sporting Complex, which is to be named after the great coach Bertil Sinclair. We started that in 2020, or 2021, sorry. And for the last 4 years, that facility has just been left there, languishing. If you drive up the highway now close to the stadium, you will see the frames and them rusted. So by the time you elect the PNM and you're ready to continue that facility, I don't know, we might have to start from scratch, right? But we're going to ensure that we complete that. We're going to ensure that we complete the Goodwood Pavilion, and we have some plans for the construction of new facilities. So the people of Canaan who can't use their field now because the lights aren't working, we are planning to construct a second indoor sporting complex at Canaan, and we're going to call it the Canaan Home of Sports. Now that indoor facility, of course, is going to be able to accommodate basketball, netball, cricket if you want, but it's going to have an indoor cricket facility as part of it, tennis, small goal football, you name it. In addition to that, we have plans, let me see those who like cricket, especially CPL. We have plans to construct an international cricket stadium in Tobago when you elect the next PNM administration. And the final thing I want to mention, for the motorsports enthusiasts, we will construct a motorsports facility for the people of Tobago. Right? So those are just some of the plans in relation to sporting facilities. But before you go to the next question, I want to talk about support for athletes, because again, under the PNM, we started the Lalon Gordon Fund, which is really an elite athletes program geared towards supporting our elite athletes, our national stars and heroes, cricketers, footballers, tennis, you name it, all the sporting disciplines. And there was an element as well that was geared towards supporting them in terms of equipment and ensuring that they have the necessary support to travel to Trinidad for training with national teams and so on. So that program is there. It was started by the PNM, but here the problem is no money.
Definitely.
How could you have a Lalon Gordon Fund, a fund named after one of our Olympic heroes, geared towards assisting our young sporting heroes from Tobago, and you have no money in the vote, but you have $25 million for travel, you build a road for $100 million, the road already have potholes, and so many other examples of wastage. It's about priorities, and the next PNM administration will ensure that we prioritize sports and we prioritize the young people of Tobago. And I want to say as well that we will review that program. We will review that fund and ensure that under that same arrangement, there is an element to support athletes with medical expenses. So any athlete that is injured, especially while participating, representing a national team, representing you, the people of Tobago, the Tobago House of Assembly will take care of all their medical bills through that program.
Well, I don't even need to ask my next question, because the next question was basically that, what are your plans in place in terms of scholarship and medical care? And, I could strongly remember down at CAS, there was an elite athlete gym, and that is none and void at the moment. We as athletes national athletes was able to go and use that gym, without, just a boost for us for training. We need that gym session, because most time our Tobago athletes, they send the programs over here for us, right? And we will have to facilitate the program and send it back to Trinidad. Tobago is always at a disadvantage when it comes to athletes, right? And with these new facilities, that I know my new political leader, new chief sec, sorry, when he gets there, I know all these things will be put in place, because we need it. And too much time, our athletes are crying out. We want to train. No, we can't train. We want this, we cannot get this, right? And I work community development, youth development, and sport. And also, if you don't know, that Lalong Gordon Fund is also for coaches. Right. Coaches could access funding for training and so on. But they act like it's only for athletes. But they politicize that as well. Because based on who you are, they tell you it's not for you. And I could tell you based on experience, when I myself inquired about it, you know what the first thing they said? You don't need that. That's what they told me. I don't need it. Like, I'm not still on the national team. I'm currently not there at the moment. But at the same time, you cannot and should not turn away national athletes. I've been on the national team since I was 14 and my sister was 13. We are 34 and 35 years of age now. So check that. Right? So we are not just walk in the park. We are not just carry come athletes. We are outstanding athletes. And look what my sister is doing now. She's turning another leaf. She's transitioning into a new journey. Right? And I respect her for that. Now, we have a proper Secretary of Sports in the making. I can assure you that. I can assure you that. With Karen Falls at the helm, we all know things in favor. Mm-hmm. Right? Sure about that. Right? And as we talk about sports, we want to get into sports tourism. And there are things that PNM did that they cut out. Dragon boat, sailing, cycling classic. Where are these things? But we want to bring diving that brought no revenue to our island. We put out and we didn't receive. Not saying it's not a good initiative, but it should benefit the island of Tobago. The same way that we leave here and go and play in football tournaments in Barbados, in the US, we had to pay for registration one, and then we play for accommodation and stuff like that. So why can't we have this in our island, and they come to pay to participate and bring the revenue to our island? Sports tourism is just as important as normal sports in Tobago. And that is another good investment that we could push further. So, Mr. Dennis, I believe I believe that, PNM did great in terms of where sports is concerned, and then it died when this new administration came in. I say that with no remorse, and it's just the truth. It's just the truth, and I'm just talking based of experience.
Yeah.
You know, everything I'm being said right now is just based off of experience. You know, we already at a disadvantage, as I say, when we go to Trinidad, they are already preparing. So when they come to Tobago and do their little screening, as they say, it's not really a screening. Jay just want to say that Tobago involved, and we're not really involved. Look at our national team. Don't say 𝐁𝐿 is at Tobago because he's a coach. I'm talking about players. Talking about players. Who do we have at the moment? None. None. They tried to trick me the other day and say Tyrese Spicer. I said that is not a Tobago. Spicer. That is not a Tobago. All right? And we can do more for sports.
Definitely.
All right?
Definitely.
And these programs, the funding especially, stop telling me you don't have no money. You have to find a way when there is no way. Because Tobago at least are just as good or even better than those that they have in Trinidad.
Definitely.
So, Miss Dennis, without further ado, I think that you covered all my questions tonight because you would have talked about funding and medical care. You would have talked about touch base on the extra facilities that I would have wanted to ask, especially, you know, I must say this tonight, you know, Mr. Dennis and they were going to build indoor facility and name it after Mr. Bertie Sinclair, but instead they refused to continue that project and build a lean roundabout and name it after Mr. Sinclair. What a roundabout have to do with sports? What a roundabout have to do with sports? Well, let me just be real, right? So I just want to say for the young and upcoming athletes, do not give up on your dreams. Once you believe, you can achieve. It wasn't an easy road for my sister and I, right? At one point in time, Scarborough Sec told me I had to repeat. I said, no way. I am going to find a way. And indeed I did. It was tough. Because everything you have to gravitate to Trinidad. The only time I played football in Tobago is when we begged, when Minister Shamfa Kojo was the minister. Since all the national team are begging, I say, here, what going on? I'm from Tobago, at least give me a little camp now. They keep saying, oh God, oh God. The first conversation I had with the minister, she said, talk to your coach now and get back to me. I say, Ken, when here, what going on? We won a game that qualifies in Tobago. He said, what is the problem? He said, what you could do? I say, all right. One conversation. I text him Minister, she personal WhatsApp. She said, Mix, here what going on? Text so by so, and let your coach and your manager come. 2 days later, Trinidad and Tobago men team had a game in the stadium. They had a 3-nation tournament. I said, Minister, nothing ain't happening. The manager came back and said, 𝐂𝐸𝐵, I don't know what you're doing, but we're getting the game in the stadium. And that's the first time I ever played in Tobago national team colors. And when I talk about performance, that is performance under the P&M banner.
You know, 𝐂𝐸𝐵, before you go, I will stay up there with our future chief sec. I say not all night in our
yeah, we say
right?
no
So,
remorse.
before you go, I would like you all to converse about, you know, the our sporting teams over here, whether it be club football, whether it be school football, whatever, right? I notice a lot of the finals, we doesn't get plenty of them finals or semi-finals game playing in Tobago, right? I want you all to elaborate on that for me a little bit because, you know, so many parents have to find resources to go to Trinidad, get airfare, whether it be by plane, by boat, go down Trinidad, place to stay, all these things. And why teams from Trinidad can't do the same and come over to Tobago and support our finals being here. You understand?
Full agreement with that.
I agree with you, full 100. Like I said, everything we goes to Trinidad. We go to Trinidad for everything, but we still have to fight for that, right? They had 4 years to figure that out, and they didn't figure that out, right? And just to come off the topic a little bit of sports, that's why I applaud Miss Beverly Ramsey Moore at Tobagonian. As soon as she got to the helm, she brought pan medium finals to Tobago. Right? And I said that today because my team was in the finals. And I kept saying, why we have to go to Trinidad? Why can't we advocate for one of the finals to come to Tobago? So since the primary school football, we keep going to Trinidad to play this final. And congratulations to Bonaccord and congratulations to Signal Hill team and also RC. So Bonaccord and Signal Hill won, and RC, they were runners up today, and I sure if that finals was in Tobago, oh my God, I would have be out there. I know the whole of Tobago would have be out there supporting them. And the home crowd is a huge advantage, right? And most time when we go to Trinidad to play football for these things, we go down the same day. So I could assure you that Bonaccord went down this morning and they played that game and then had to come back up to Tobago. Yeah, it's the same thing that we go through. So sometimes they say here what? National training, we had to go down early in the morning and then we go straight into training and then they'll say, all right, we spend the weekend and right after training, we had to come back to Tobago. But then would not consider even having a camp. Why they don't consider us like how we just consider them? And then we had to advocate for that. When I started to talk, everybody would be like, oh gosh. Because I just wanted for Tobago. It's Trinidad and Tobago. And something needs to be done. So more advocacy. We will get it done. We shall get it done.
And just to confirm how this current administration doesn't care about sports at all. The teams that she just mentioned who won that competition in Trinidad returned to Tobago. And there was not even an official from the Tobago House of Assembly to welcome our champions back to Tobago. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Right? So, elect the PNM. We will have an effective Secretary of Sport. She's making a plug for his sister.
Hey! What more than start my advocacy already? Karen Fox.
Right, but we definitely have to do more for sport. Sport is a gateway to success, and it has to be treated like that. It's an opportunity for our young people to elevate themselves. And I want to see, it's about time that we have another Tobagonian on the West Indies cricket team. It's about time we have another Tobagonian playing in the Premier League or some other major football league across the world. It's about time. And the only way we could get to that point is if we make more investment, more significant investments into sport and to give our talented young people the best opportunities possible to succeed. Yeah?
And just to mention, it also could be an avenue for troubled youths.
That's right.
Right? And just to touch quickly, I did an exam 2 weeks ago, public service, physical education of sports officer 1. And one of the questions was, besides the Ministry of Education, what other division would you think could collaborate with sports? And I said Ministry of National Security, because there's a lot of troubled youths that we could use sports to help them. And that was number 1 for me. I didn't even mention Ministry of Health, because that was just, to me, it was just nothing. I picked the Ministry of National Security and Ministry of Curriculum, Foreign and Curriculum Affairs. And I think that national security was a priority for me because we have a lot of youths on the block, and when you look at them, they are young, they are gifted, and they are talented. And I could tell you, they are some of the youths in Plymouth, I could tell you, not 3 and 4 subjects they have, They have like 8 and 9 subjects, and I could tell you that they only look a certain way, but they are very smart.
Indeed. All right, give Miss Forbes a round of
Make
applause.
some noise to
Thank you,
Kimika
thank you,
Forbes.
thank you.
Thank you for passing through.
So,
Yeah. So yeah, what's going on? We're going to take a little pause. We're going to take a little break. We're going to vibes with the people a little bit, play a little music. And we like the vibes up in here already, you know.
Yeah.
But we what kind of way we are here tonight.
No, I keep it cool. And
Better you save that for the victory. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, save that for the victory. But yeah, what's going on? As I told all you, it's community conversations. The finale, we're here, we're chilling with our future chief sec, Ansel K. Dennis. We vibes in, let's take a little drink. If we feel to get something to eat, we vibes in. We're going to play a little music in the meantime.
yeah, man.
And then we go continue with the program now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hey, 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 hey. I am so glad I got to serve you. Sometimes I think humbly I don't deserve you. But full of pleasant, I know you're proud in this moment. You are the reason. Higher than higher heights is our limit. No, we ain't leaving. No one behind now will not desert you. I see myself inside you. I know we can do this thing. So right now let me fix up. Now let me link up. Bring a run, let me build up. So there was one to take. Country go on. Remember they call me. It's the way I love. Demand representation. Vibes gathered with Ansel. We getting it done with Ansel. We building it up with Ansel. Integrating some with Ansel. This journey ain't done with Ansel. We building it up with Ansel. Oh, yeah. Living my life for you, it has been an honor. Oh, you are my friend, my sister, and my brother. So if you under pressure, I'm under pressure. If you having favor, I'm right here with you. The enemy will guide and protect you until darkness will not neglect you. And I know that together you and I can do this thing. Well, they call him a child king, so try to debase him. But every day he keep on rising up, on the journey he keep on shining up. Cause red is the color of passion, red is the color of blood, not a passion. Go for answer, then it's lucky come to do this work. Sign him up, and we fix up. And now wanna be link up. Bring a friend, let me build up. So there's all I've got to go. The country they go on. It's the river they call me. It's the way that I love. The man represented. What If you're loyal, then you're loyal. We all are the young, we all live it young, we all by the story. It's the man to the morning. Everybody coming in, we ready to go. We gon' make them jump, we gon' make them turn up, we gon' make them wine, we gon' make them free up. It's different than Bacchanal, it's different but radical, this carnival. I want to go find a way, everybody on stage, oh, if you're coming down from the mountain, oh God, when you're in the beat in town, see me jumping on, we survive across, we survive across, you could see it already, but revolado. When the people tell you they cannot wait for God, people don't pass it on the ground. I bless down when I'm fine. Watch out the party turn up tonight. We go out and party, the people better we causing trouble. Just watch how we causing trouble. Everybody buying button. Well, after we causing trouble. Somebody give me room to mash up this place. Front to the back, I jump up and away. Whole place shall let madness in here. Bring everything way up in the air. Show them up there. Front to the back, I jump up and away. Whole place shall let madness in here. Bring everything way up in the air. Show them up there. Look, they want me already. They go pussy out, Lord. Tight up, brother. Tight up, boy. Is it that kind of stupidness is not allowed, Lord? Tight up, brother. Tight up, boy. Why they know what good for them? They go listen to be kind of music and rhythm. Look, people all up in parade, shouting this time, but they missing. Top pass the rum, ice. You bless the woman and right. Well, I going home mash up tonight. Because we young and all the people
Muscle, everybody's got the swing. Muscle, we gon' mash up everything. Muscle, daddy DJ start to play what we want. Muscle, every people's got the swing. Muscle, we gon' mash up everything. Muscle, daddy DJ start to play what we want. Hey, you, we want. We want my soca. You, we want. We want my soca. You, we want. We want my soca. Is the money base? Is the money base? Is the money base? Is the money base? Is the tam? Is the tam? Is the tambo? Is the tambo? Is the tambo? Is the tambo? Is the tambo?
You see that just a day, keep that. You see that curtain there, keep that. You don't need your fancy stage, brother. Once a trinity reaching your vet is niceness. Boy, hands in the sky, we bring the vibes. Once we reaching your vet is niceness. Yeah, boy, they can't deny, we bring the vibes. And I don't mean to be bossy, they can party like rain. One from man from Gandhi, but for sure, they can party like rain. Don't man that time of day, we started anyway. Oh gosh, oh John, we like it already sweet so man, oh man. Yeah, hola, mama, together we start the love is so strong, la. And we don't care, this guy that we got it great. Watch out where we are up in the air. So we go find out the best, rub something there.
From your wake up this morning, you're the winner. Yeah. From your wake up this morning, you're the winner. Yeah.
Watch out, Jaja. Yeah, we love our life now. Everywhere is vibes now. Whoa, I say watch out, Jaja. Bring woman so nice now. What more could I ask for? Beside a woman in front to go down and walk up, she lives and gets on and mind. She body can wind up no more. Cause life is short and tomorrow not short, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks in me and now. Jump up and wave is the plan now. Just stop and girl with the man now. Whoa, cause the things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna go home, no. Cause the things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave, oh no. Right now I feel like a jump down. I feel like a right down.
Let's start here on.
I feel like a jump down. I feel like a right down. I want to hold on a bumper right now and get on bad, yeah. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, where I wanna be when this time is over. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, how life would I be if you didn't have soca. Cause I love to see the girl and them go down and fuck up the west and get on and mind and everybody can wind up the bar. Cause life is short and tomorrow not short, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks in me and now, jump up and wave is the plan now. Just stop and girl with the man now. Hey, oh woman, you give me all that time, so I say, oh woman, as a man that can want more, I'm a sentence. With the time that you give me thanks, with the wine that you give me thanks, you could not choose anybody but to choose me. Yeah. So much carnivals we've been through together, jumping up on the road in all kind of weather, yeah. And when things get rough, we hold on each other tight. Even though we fuss and we fight, girl, you see it's my best friend. Love you like a sister, you're more than a brethren. And we go into the end. Boy, I want you to know, anywhere you want, oh, I gon' be right there. And this is my thanks for everything you do. I appreciate it, highly rate it. I say thanks for all the memories that we created, jamming on the road. So if you talk a little better wrong, we on that, passing down, we on that, having fun, doing what we love, jumping around, we on that, winding down to the ground like that. We so happy doing what we love. Well, next time I'm up, baby, there'll be no more you and me. Fed up of you using me, believe bad man. Who want to watch could watch me. I come to get on bad and if you vex then I'm sorry. It's like every vet have the number to my cell phone. Back and let's call me and I cannot say no. The vibes can't done. The vibes can't done. The vibes can't done. The vibes can't done. The vibes.
Oh yes, most definitely the vibes gathered here tonight. Community conversations, the finale. Remember box it low. Nice. So, let me keep the ball rolling. If anybody just made their way on the inside, I want to say welcome to Community Conversations. The finale, we're here tonight at Barcode. My name is All-Star Aaron. We're here with our future Chief Sec of Tobago, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis. And we're going to continue the conversations. We have another special guest in the building. You know, when you look at Tobago, when you talk about Tobago, if there's one thing we know about Tobago, is we love to produce. And we love belly. We love good food. Yeah? We like food from the ground. Right? So tonight, I want to welcome on stage to have a conversation with Mr. Dennis, or as I should say, to lime with Ansel. Miss Fanta Carrington. Will you make some noise for me, please? Make some noise for Fanta for me, please. Welcome, welcome. Mrs. Carrington, how you feeling? You good? We had to get a mic? Yeah, we had to share a mic there for me now. Tell me, how you feeling? You good? You feeling a little vibesy? I see you was eating your belly full there and you drink a little something. You good?
That is a must.
Welcome.
Substance.
Yeah, substance, you're correct. Right, so welcome to Community Conversations. I officially want to welcome you. And as you know, we here to talk, we here to vibe, we here to ask questions. And also for those of you who are in the crowd, feel free if you have a question to ask Mr. Dennis. You can, all right? The floor is open. You can also ask Fanta a question if you have. So,
all right, good night.
Through.
Good night, everybody. Good night to YouTube and all the viewers. I am Fanta Carrington. I am no stranger to the farming community. I have been farming for quite some time, since at a tender age, going to the farm with my mom and dad. I pursued agriculture at the tertiary level at the 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐴F institution in Trinidad. And then I came back to Tobago to give back to the farmers of Tobago. I am employed in the field of agriculture, and I'm also a farmer first and foremost. I want to get straight into it. I want to touch on food security and local production. Mr. Dennis, what are your plans, you and your team, to target a reduction on food import dependency?
Very good question. How many of you know that most of the food you consume in Tobago is not produced in Tobago? How many of you know that? Right, everybody, right? And it applies across the board, even the watermelons. The watermelons that you consume in Tobago, most of it comes from Trinidad. Chicken, corn, vegetables. Even when you go to some of the vegetable stores in Tobago, most of it comes from Trinidad. So Tobago is definitely in a position where we are not feeding ourselves. And the next PNM-THA administration under my leadership intends to change that and change it very quickly. So how are we going to do that? Farmland Development Program, which you're very familiar with. Before we left office, we identified 700 acres of land across estates in Tobago. There are several estates in Tobago owned by the Tobago House of Assembly. And again, thanks to the PNM under Orville London, we created a nice land bank owned by the THA for the future development of Tobagonians, whether it be housing, agriculture, tourism development, etc. So 700 acres of land will be developed by the next PNM THA across at least 5 different estates. We're going to put in the roads, put in the electricity, put in the water, and we will identify existing productive farmers and also some new and budding farmers and distribute those lands to them. In addition to that, we will give each of them a grant from the Tobago House of Assembly of $100,000, and that money could be used to transfer, expand, or start up their operations at those new locations. Now, what that will do is create a situation where we are able to produce more food in Tobago. Because the first objective is to be able to feed ourselves in Tobago. It can't be a situation where if the boat does not sail, Tobago will starve. And currently, that's the reality. And we have tensions in the region, right? We have a radar, which is a military asset in Crown Point by our brand new airport built by the PNM. And you have people calling the radar a Christmas gift. But the reality is, if God forbid, war break out, ferry can't sail, what are we eating? What are you eating? Ask the person next to you what you eating. So we have to be able to feed ourselves in Tobago. And then, of course, once we can feed ourselves, then it also allows us to explore opportunities in Trinidad, where 1.4 million people live. And Trinidad, of course, well, as a country, we also import a lot of food into the country. So we have to get to the point where we feed the 60,000 here, and we have sufficient production to also capitalize on the market in Trinidad and, of course, regional and international markets. And that is just one way, one of the programs that will allow us to increase agricultural production on the island of Tobago.
Well, Mr. Dennis, like you jumped the gun because I had some questions to ask about land tenure. You just addressed it.
Right.
I also had questions about the national agriculture incentive, which was 100,000 as well.
Right.
And, you know, although it was open to farmers of both Trinidad and Tobago, it was very difficult for Tobago farmers to access that.
Right.
So that was one of my concerns, you know, how Tobago farmers can access funding via a program just like that, or even if your team could have lobbied for a portion of the pie from the national allocation to guide and distribute to the farmers of Tobago and make it easily accessible.
Right. So in terms of funding, because funding is a very critical part. You can't do nothing without money, right? Money talks, as we learned recently. But anyway, the point is, you cannot do you cannot do anything in business without money. You need that capital injection. And we intend to improve the situation where that is concerned, not only for the farmers, but across the business sector in Tobago. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to increase the grant ceiling from $25,000 that it currently is now to $100,000 for businesses across the board in Tobago. And of course, we will specifically target the sectors that are important to us: agriculture, tourism, creativity, and we also want person to start exploring opportunities in the green economy in terms of renewable energy and so on, right? So we're going to increase that to 100,000, and that's grant funding. Now, on the loan side, the current ceiling through BDU, I think, is what, $250,000. We temporarily increased it to 500,000 during the pandemic. Under the next PNM administration, we will increase that ceiling to $1 million. Because we firmly believe that we have to invest, because we always talk about employment. The Tobago House of Assembly cannot continue to employ the majority of Tobagonians. And when those on the other side will offer you a 10 days on and a 10 days off, we are offering you real opportunities. Because we're saying in order to create additional jobs, we have to build a more sustainable and resilient private sector. So it's important for us to invest in our business sector. It's important for us to make the necessary funding available to our businesses through those programs. And I'm saying that businesses across the board will have the opportunity to access through a THA loan guarantee program up to $1 million in loan financing.
These days, the topic is youths. The both of us walk the halls of Compre.
I remember those days.
Right? So I normally see on forms when they say youth, they carry it all up to 40 years of age. But the good Lord promised us 70. That's 70.
Right.
Half of that is 35.
35.
I don't consider myself a youth anymore. I don't know what the rest. I don't cross that already.
You know, but you know, but I youth. Me are youth until me reach about 45.
Doing the type of strenuous work that I do daily. By now, my knees hurting, my back aching. So, when you're talking about youths in agriculture, how will agriculture be made attractive for more young people to get involved?
We have to expose young people to modern agriculture, because a lot of people see agriculture as very labor intensive, and don't get me wrong, you have to work, and in life generally you have to work hard. Nothing comes easily. So I don't want the young people especially to be afraid of work. But of course, agriculture and other things generally are moving towards more technological applications that allows the process to become easier, right? So that is the first thing I want young people to understand. The other thing is that the Kendall Farm School, we did in the past a program called the YAPA program, where of course we expose young people to training and so on in agriculture, crop production, livestock production, among other things. And we also committed that the graduates of that program will get piece of land to establish their own farm. And I want to make that same commitment that we're going to treat with that program again. In addition to that, I want to say that the Kendall Farm School will be significantly improved or renovated or reconstructed. And we are going to call it the Kendall School of Agriculture. And it will be one of the campuses of the University of Tobago that we will be committing to when we expose you all to our vision. And that institution will, of course, provide opportunities for our young people to be trained and exposed to agriculture, and also the business side of agriculture, because agriculture have money in it. If you do it right, it have money in it. And Fanta. Right? So we have to expose people to the business side to be able to manage the business aspect of it. But that facility will also allow for international students, students from Trinidad to come to Tobago and study agriculture. And which school you said you went to? 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐴?
𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐴.
We're going to ensure that that campus is going to be much better than what is available in any part of the region.
Right here in Tobago, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So as I touch on the YAPA program there a bit, and we're talking about the incentive program that is a central government program. One of the incentives in that program was tailored to the youths in agriculture initiative. So you must have either training from Kendall Farm School under the YAPA program, or even the University of the West Indies or 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐴, right? But I want to touch on the vehicular incentive, and I want to touch on poultry, because I'm a poultry farmer, and I noticed that you need 10,000 birds to qualify for a vehicle incentive. If
That's
you're doing
that's with the ministry.
with the Ministry of
Right.
Central Government Program, so that would be the incentive program under the central government that is tailored for farmers in both Trinidad and Tobago. The only person in Tobago that can access that incentive
Makoni.
is Mr. Makoni Egg Farm. So, having 1,000 birds, you are required to have
9,000 more.
20 bags of feed will only feed them for 8 days. I doubt I could carry 20 bags of feed on my back, so I need a vehicle. Your team have any plans to request and adjust and develop an incentive that would allow more persons, especially young people, to come into the sector, or even plan that will aid in the increase in production?
Definitely. And let me just say that while the Ministry of Agriculture has their programs, and yes, Tobagonians can and have benefited from that, especially under the PNM. I remember helping some farmers in Tobago, even while I was out of office, to access those incentives from the Ministry of Agriculture in Trinidad. I was also told of a young person who started that homestead program as well, and was trained and was supposed to benefit from the arrangements in partnership with the Tobago House of Assembly. But of course, Trinidad and Tobago voted out the PNM on April the 20th. And you know what happened, right? All those programs were scrapped, right? So I'm not aware that those programs exist right now as we speak. But as the next Tobago House of Assembly, apart from the grant that I just mentioned, apart from the loan guarantee program that I just mentioned, we will also ensure that we put things in place to give additional incentives to farmers. And also the existing incentives, we've had challenges where they're not being processed on time and there's a lot of paperwork. We are going to streamline all of those. And while I'm on that, I want to talk about late payments, because all of it is the same thing where, as a service provider, right now, you provide a service to the THA for Carnival, Heritage. You have to wait until the next Carnival to get paid, or the next Heritage to get paid. The incentives, farmers will submit the documents, how long it takes to get back the money. Sometimes next financial year, and you still ain't get back the money. We have a plan to put an end to all the bureaucracy and all the slackness, because some of it is slackness. We have a plan to put an end to that and to streamline the process to ensure these things are processed faster, so that farmers will get their incentives in a timely manner. And service providers, when you do work with the THA, we intend to establish a standard that you get your payment within 30 days.
I don't want to take up much more of your time because I think we are on a time schedule. But I must touch on regional and export opportunities.
Right.
How do you plan on assisting farmers by facilitating exports of your let me say that again. How do you plan on assisting farmers by facilitating export of our products so that we are not only supplying products locally but also regionally and internationally?
You're familiar with a company called the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company? So TADCO started by the PNM, not as a brand new company, but we brought several companies together that we felt will operate better if we brought them together. So 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐿, cassava products, and another one, can't remember the name of the other one. Fish processing company, etc. So we brought them together into one company. One of the critical mandates of that company used to be, and I'm saying used to be because they have lost their way, they have destroyed that company. Everything fall along in that company right now. But one of the very important mandates of that company was to ensure that we provide farmers with the opportunity to export. And I'll tell you how we're going to do that almost immediately. We're going to instruct TADCO, your next PNM administration, to find a suitable location in Trinidad and establish a facility down at that location. Because it is our belief that the farmer, unless they choose to do otherwise, should focus on production. Produce, produce, produce. And then TADCO, a company representing the Tobago House of Assembly, should be able to find the markets and help to distribute whatever you produce to the market. And we are saying that in Trinidad, there is a ready market down there of 1.4 million people. And there's also a regional and international market. But the best place to access the international market is where? Through Trinidad. So we're going to establish that location. We're going to take the goods from the farmers, brand them to be grown, because that's another separate initiative that we're coming with, to brand Tobago items in a specific way, to tell the consumers that, look, these items were grown in Tobago, therefore they're clean, they're safe, and they're more organic than most places in the world, and definitely than anywhere else in the country. So that's a specific brand that we're going to work on. But the idea is to ensure that we are able to readily access the Trinidad market, and that will be the responsibility of TADCO. So again, the farmer will produce, distribute it to TADCO, and TADCO will take responsibility for distributing whatever we produce in the Trinidad market, find other opportunities in the regional market, and of course the international market.
If I'm permitted to ask one more question.
Sure.
What are your plans for water harvesting and conservation so that we, the farmers, can benefit during the dry season and in periods of water shortage?
And I will tell you, one of the main things that we did, and I consider this a significant achievement, is that we established an irrigation system for farmers in 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬. And we spent a significant sum. I think that system, if I remember the figure clearly, cost $12 million. And it was about pulling the water from other sources like the river, etc., digging wells to store that water in the wells, and to ensure that during times of dry spells and during the dry season, that the farmers in 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬 were able to access water. There was supposed to be a second phase of that project. I'm not sure if that second phase was executed. I'm not sure if the system is working as it should, because this administration that is in office now, they have a habit for not continuing anything and for scrapping everything that's good. And I'm saying we're going to repeat that kind of arrangement in all the developments that I just mentioned under the Farmland Development Program to ensure that farmers in those areas will always have access to water, especially during the dry season. Yeah,
That's it for me with all my questions.
Thank you very much. Give Fanta a round of
Thank you.
applause.
You was a good host.
Make some noise for Fanta Carrington for me, please. Anybody in the crowd have any questions? Remember we had a talk, you know. Papi or something? Remember come over by Papi, you know. Oh, where the next mic? Give me the next mic. Make it your own mic. You look like a general, you know.
Good night,
Talk
ladies and gentlemen. Pleasant good night to Mr. Ansel Dennis. My name is Greville Nicholson. I'm 4 times a youth. But I'm not going to claim the opportunity to talk for 4 times. I only want to talk 1 time. So I will start with the lady who just left. She's a poultry farmer. I am the oldest poultry farmer in Tobago. I came in 1978 with a loan from Trinidad of $250,000. The name, or some of you will know the name, Goo Patch, going down the Cataway in the back behind there. But at the same time, I had no water, I had no electricity, we had no bridge going into Goo Patch. It took us about 5 years to get on intact. Then the Gelton and the other one came from Trinidad, and I couldn't compete. Reason, I was to put in a hatchery to assist with the poultry farmers. So I am suggesting a hatchery for Tobago for poultry farmers. So that's there. We have tissue culture in Tobago, up Goldsboro. I don't know what they're producing, but there's somewhere we could enhance root stock. I have something on sports and education, but I want to close off by saying, invite all of you and all of Tobago to Charlottesville on Saturday coming 6 o'clock, for we're going to unveil a Christmas tree on the jetty. It was done and engineered by Greville Nicholson, and it was supposed to be a project that was apolitical, because the Minister for Works and Infrastructure was supposed to throw the switch to bring life to the Christmas tree. But with the recent developments and so on, she scratched. So I am going to throw the switch myself on Saturday and turn it over to the PNM. So I ain't get any funding from anybody else. All that is there was done by me, so I could give anybody I want. Yes? So if you could pass by in Charlottesville on Saturday, and the program is the tree is going to be lighted and run for 5 weeks. The closing off night is the 3rd of January, and election is the 12th. So we're on board. So I don't want to I have plenty much more to say. I will talk personally to the chief. So thank you very much, and hope to see you in Charlottesville.
Chief, if you feel like I take one more. Anybody else have a little question for the future chief?
Let's take one more.
One more? Anybody? I can't stand up here. I ain't see the light. The light in my eye. You have a question out there? Anybody? Let me see. Somebody else. Yeah, man.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, PNM people. Good evening, PNM family. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, PNM family, political leader, Tobago Council. Political leader, Tobago Council. Could I have your attention, please, sir? Political leader, Tobago Council. Mr. Dennis, you had the opportunity before as the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. When the PNM wins the next THA election, what would you do differently?
One, differently to what, the current Chief Secretary?
No, I'm not so pivotal to go down that road.
Right.
What would you do differently from your term that you would have served as Chief Secretary
Right.
to what is happening now? Because from my understanding, everyone who were perceived to be PNM was sent home. And when the contract or contracts expired, they were not renewed. We are in a Tobago space. What would you do differently if given the opportunity again to serve as the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly?
So first thing I will do differently is that I will not tell lies to the people of Tobago. Secondly, I will put the interests of the people of Tobago first and foremost. So you see the situation here now where we're bringing people from Trinidad to build an early childhood center in Tobago and to build roads in Tobago. And they even had and stage for carnival and all those things. And they even had a program distributing farm produce to needy people in Tobago. I think that was sometime in 2023 or 2022. They did it for 2 years. I'm not sure if it's still going on now. You know where they got the food from? A company called Novo Farms in Trinidad. Bypass all the farmers in Tobago. So I will put the people of Tobago first and foremost. Another thing I will do differently is that I will stand up like a man and speak on behalf of the people of Tobago. So imagine we have, well, everybody know about the radar now. Tensions happening. 2 countries apparently on the verge of military conflict. We have been saying that this region should be a region of peace. Why? The Tourism Association, they are saying now that because of that development, bookings are being canceled by foreigners. They are therefore losing business. We rely on tourism, agriculture, and trade, meaning the movement of goods between our country and other countries in order to survive. Any military conflict is going to jeopardize all of the above, and not to mention the energy sector, where we have oil platforms out in the sea. So the government, led by the current Prime Minister, is being extremely reckless. And all along, we in Tobago were saying, okay, she's the Prime Minister. If you want to take the country into a possible war, into a possible global conflict, then she has the authority to do so as Prime Minister. That is the power of the Prime Minister. But here we are in Tobago, peaceful Tobago, loving Tobago. And we woke up one morning, I think it was 3 or 4 a.m., to loud noises of the engines of a military plane landed in Tobago, offloaded, according to my information, equipment and human beings in Tobago. Left Tobago, 2 more planes came. And a few days later, the Prime Minister told us it's a road. And then we saw something spinning in the air that is a radar. And then somebody on a platform said that is all a Christmas gift, especially to the people in Bonaccord, Crown Point. And I am wondering, how come the Chief Secretary has nothing to say? All he has done is defended the Prime Minister to tell us that the Prime Minister forget to tell him, and the fact that she sent 2 ministers recently to Tobago, then she should be forgiven. And even thank the Prime Minister for the disrespect. Can you young people here, and of course the older ones, the more senior ones, imagine if that was the former Prime Minister who is at Tobago now? Can you imagine the amount of noise the Chief Secretary would have made? But all of a sudden, you know when you have a dog, anyway, let me do go down that road. Right? But all of a sudden, the Chief Secretary is quiet.
Can I interject,
Nothing to
Mr.
say.
Chairman, can I interject? And political leader Tobago Council, there's something in Tobago, our old people say decorum, and you have decorum. Don't go down that road.
Yeah, I wouldn't go down that road. Right? But all of a sudden, he has nothing to say. He's not defending the interests of the people of Tobago. And as far as he's concerned, the government could take that decision behind our backs without informing us, without consultation, and put the same radar that the people of Grenada rejected right here in Tobago. And let us not be fooled by the Tobago East MP when he said it's an upgrade to the existing airport. The airport has an effectively working radar already for civilian purposes. What has been installed here is a military radar. And what I will do differently, you asked, I will not sit silently and allow our central government to disrespect the people of Tobago in that way. So, those are just about some of the things that I will do differently. I will mention one more thing, which is to place priority where it is required. So there will never be a situation where the Lalon Gordon Fund empty, but THA secretaries could jump on a plane. If the Lalon Gordon Fund have no money, if the hospital have no proper equipment, then nobody not flying to go nowhere. It's that simple. You cannot spend $25 million on travel, but we can't fix the lights in Canaan for $50,000. Or we can't give the TFA $100,000 to carry out their responsibilities when the year comes. Or we can't give the Tobago Cricket Association any subvention for the last 4 years. That is what's happening in Tobago. But people going on a plane, and you know what's the hurtful part about it? With all the travel, think about how many times Tasha Boris jump on a plane and fly. Zorisha Akit, Farley Augustine, Ian Pollard. Well, don't talk about Iso. He leave here and went on a plane to fly to Jamaica to watch how to build house. When we built some of the best
And moreover, I want you to talk about MIT preparing Tobagonians if that airport is going to be reopened. Yes, you talk about agriculture and preparing the agricultural sector for the influx of tourists, for the reopening of that airport, for the influx of tourists that will be coming here. But not only agriculture, you have MIT. What plans do you have for the service industry from a tourism sector and for MIT students who would want to enter into MIT?
Right, so because the next discussion is on tourism and entrepreneurship, I will save those responses for then.
All right, nice. Yeah? So make some noise, please. Make some noise for Ansel K. Dennis, future Chief Secretary of Tobago, leader of the Tobago Council. So yeah, we're going on, Chief. Take a little break now.
Yeah, let me go.
Yeah, take a little break, interact with the people, and then take a little drink again.
It have a song I will play there. You know that song?
You know what that song is?
We work so hard.
Yeah, we deserve Chief.
Wait, don't get
Chief, now you're talking.
Don't get carried away, right? Because all you feel the party are talking about is wine and thing and have a good time. The party I'm talking about is the PNM. You deserve a good party managing your affairs in Tobago. So give me that song.
You'll find me and my friend and them because we work so hard all week. We deserve a party. We deserve it. Say we deserve it. Yeah, we deserve it. Tell all your friend and them. Tell all the girl and them. Bring all your friend and them. And let's get it started. I say, oh yo, also come and take a jump and let we started by the drum. Let we started by the drum. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Light it up, bring the shots and light it up. Party on the road, it's a party on the road. Look at lights in the back, watch my canal in the front. Party on the road, it's a party on the roadway. Cause everybody on the roadway. So let me see your hands up in the air, wave them up in the band. People from everywhere, welcome up to the land of the party. To celebrate, I'm telling you, hard work without the smart work. In our world, we don't want no matter that. I need a little breather. 2 days on the road with some time in the middle. I think we need to find the middle. For the sake of peace of mind, so the middle of the road is clear. You'll find me and my friend and them because we work so hard.
Yes, I can hear them saying, boy, stop living in the past. Where can I find that energy, the raw magic that comes down from the grassroots? Yes, I'm from a place where soca the resounding power. You could feel any time, any hour, sunshine or shower. You will feel it anywhere you look, and it reads like a storybook. I come from when God used to carry it. We used to carry it, and the God used to carry it. We used to carry it, and the God used to carry it. We used to carry it, and the God used to carry it. We used to carry it when Arriva had it, Maturita had it, Santa Rosa, had it, Down Yaruka, had it, in Mova, had it, in Sawa, had it, Soparia, had it, local over, downtown Fecos the vibes when West people leave from Lincoln, John and the town to head to the playground and who they link inside, Arima and Central, Tobago and Southside. The traffic on it Sunday morning down the by West Morning, have cars parking like a rat. Me drinks bottle long like ruler in a cooler and we chip it up the mouse to for Canada. Them time they come, used to carry it. We used to carry it on the ground, we used to carry it. We used to carry it on the flat to the carry it. We used to carry it on the cooler to the carry it. We used to carry it when Central had it, Korea had it, Colombia had it, Filipina had it, my country had it. Million carnival of a contract. Every year we go hard like nail lie on the roadway. Truck bigger than humpback wheels. Like a contact with calendar and just mark that day. And when you see them to this come around, this time is my time to jump out. My time to run bout. My time to get something and get on back on this long road. Moving with the soldiers, still moving on cops go. Whining on all them get from east, west, north and south. Yes we do, yes we do, yes we do. Yes we do, yes we do, yes we do. Yeah, yo, jump on the day comes, jump on the day, jump on the day comes, jump on the day, jump on the day comes, jump on the day, jump on the day comes, jump on the day. I tell my wife I love your vibe, but you should come along. Yeah. She's sending vibes to all we like, and we about 40 strong. Yeah. Who on the left, who on the right, we going out your town. My relatives, they want the line, but I tell them, see you when I come back. This time I will come back late, going from morning till last like when we pump that street. Hold your right work hard, you don't know how long I wait. So when you see them do this come around, this time is my time to jump out. My time to run bout, my time to get something and get on back on this long road. Moving with the soldiers, we don't move with no cops go. Whining on all them get from east, west, north and south. Yes we do, yes we do, yes we do. Yes we do, yes we do, yes we do.
I've been patient and I've been waiting. You left and never say goodbye. Those tears I cried, no, I can't get over it.
So don't you ever let me down again. Cause I depending on you, so you better come through this time. Please hear my cry, and if I ever let you down, my friend, it was a misunderstanding. So if I took it for granted, then I promise from today I go jump like I never jump, wave like I never wave, whine like I never went before, just to show you I sorry, and I need you back in my life. Look at people that you trust, it was a running high, way up in the sky, just running down the line, and you tell us we sorry, and we need you back in the life, and if I come back home. Come on to me, come on to me. It's like no place like you. Come to me, come on to me, come on to me.
So yes, we here tonight, community conversations. Shout out to everyone who's taking it in on the live. I say I have some friends who touching the place here late, boy. They got yourself here. You know, really nothing, boy. Nothing. They got yourself. So community conversations with finale. We're talking with the leader of the Tobago Council, the PNM Tobago Council, Ansel K. Dennis. And we're just touching on some of the issues mainly that affecting the youth of Tobago, the future generation, all right? So all the youths in the building, if you feel free to just come forward, you understand, ask a question, Yeah, we just liming tonight. Remember, we liming and we vibing tonight. So free up all yourself. All the people on the inside, feel free to come out if you want. Right? So we're gonna keep it moving. And I want to invite, this man is our brethren. This man is like our mentor, our big brother. We done some work together over the years. So this one is a personal friend of mine. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in Community Conversations, I want to welcome my good friend, my brethren, my family, the big man, the tall man, Mr. Quincy K. Trim, the Bonaccord boss. Big up yourself, my brethren. Welcome to Community Conversations tonight. So you know the vibes already. I don't want to tell you nothing. You already know what's going on. We're here with the future chief. Let me get on to business. We want to touch on the topic of tourism, which is very important for Tobago. A very, very important sector. And we also want to touch on something I know you're very versed in, entrepreneurship. And we have the youths here. We want to educate them. And we also want to get them involved. Right? We want to go beyond, as I always tell them, we got to go beyond a one-time morning walk. We got to go beyond that. Yeah? So, ladies and gentlemen, Quincy Trim, Ansel K. Dennis, Community Conversations, the finale. Take it away, guys.
Hi, good night. Good night, Mr. Dennis. I could see Ansel tonight. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic. Oh, you hear me, right? Yeah, I born as Ansel and I don't born as Mr. Dennis.
Right. So let me quick introduction of myself. Hi, my name is Quincy Trim. Hail from the best village in Tobago, Canaan.
Second best.
Full of entrepreneurs, full of tourism activities, full of economic diversity. I began my entrepreneurial journey when I was 22 years old. Started with selling clothing, went into car rentals, went into travel agencies, and now into entertainment. I think at times we forget that entertainment and tourism go hand in hand because we now have the development of Tobago Carnival, Blue Food Festival, and other activities that will draw tourists to the island because of entertainment. So with that being said, my first question, Mr. Dennis. Sorry, my first question, Ansel. How do you believe some of our tourism-driven events, such as October Carnival, Heritage Festival, Blue Food, can be improved and expanded?
Number one, we have to treat with the access situation. Accessing Tobago during those peak periods, of course, is a major challenge. And we have some plans to fix that. So, number one, we are going to ensure that when we travel as secretaries and as a chief secretary, it will be for important purposes that will actually bring benefits to the people of Tobago. So one of the first things we're going to do is to talk to the cruise lines, whether it be Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian. Because you see, when we have in October Carnival in 2026, there must be an arrangement in place where for the trainees who want to take that opportunity should have access to a cruise from Trinidad, Port of Spain to Tobago from the Thursday before Carnival, and the ship will be here until the Sunday or the Monday or whenever. And of course, the capacity of that ship is likely to be somewhere between 2,000 and perhaps up to 4,000, 5,000, depending on what we could sell. But we're going to have those conversations because we have to find innovative ways to solve our transportation situation. We can't always just cuss Cal. When the PNM was in office, this THA was cussing Caribbean Airlines and cussing the PNM government. When the UNC came in, they stopped cussing and they started to pray for flights. Right now, we don't intend to cuss nor pray. we will find innovative ways to bring people to Tobago. And of course, that will allow trainees and even international interests to book that cruise arrangement, come to Tobago. We will have some unique Tobago experiences on board the cruise ship and so on. And they spend the entire carnival here. So they will live on the ship, eat, sleep, etc., come off, support the carnival, play mass, attend the events, go to Buko, go to the second best community, Canaan, go to Charlottesville, and explore Tobago. Right? So it's an opportunity to bring 3,000-4,000 additional people and release that strain off of the air bridge and the sea bridge. In addition to that, we're going to talk to companies, airlines, to discuss the possibility of chartering flights, of course, from Port of Spain to Tobago and back, but also from international destinations during those periods. So we have to ensure that we have the conversations with those organizations, those cruise lines, those airlines to help solve some of those challenges. And I think once we do that, then of course, we can see some improvement in terms of the number of persons being able to access Tobago during those periods. The other very important thing is that I think we need to properly regulate our festivals to ensure that the people of Tobago benefit, right? So those are the two critical ways in which we could improve those festivals. Now, the other thing that we will ensure that we do is to bring more festivals to the island, because we believe that Tobago can and should be marketed as a festival island. And you want to develop a 52-week calendar of festivals and events, whether it be Carnival, we're going to bring back the jazz. This administration scrapped jazz when they came in, realized that jazz was a good idea, brought back the jazz and changed the name, but it's still jazz. We're going to, of course, bring back some of these sports tourism festivals that we lost. Sailing Regatta, Cycle Classic, Dragon Boat Festival, and others. We're going to also partner with communities to ensure that we increase the Heritage Festival and get more communities to come on board. And even outside of the Heritage period, we believe that we can partner with the communities in Tobago to develop other unique festival offerings, whether it be cuisine-based, whether it be cultural-based, whether it be music, whether it be sports, etc. We believe that we can partner with the communities and increase Tobago's festival offerings so that at any point in time in the year, visitors could come to Tobago and experience some festival that represents the cultural heritage of the people of Tobago.
All right. So while you touched on regulation of the festivals and the opportunities, I've been doing events now in Tobago for 5 years. It's 8 years actually. This is the third year of the Tobago Carnival. And while we have seen a growth in the number of arrivals and the number of parties, we have also seen a decline in the amount of Tobago promoters actually getting reward from the increased numbers. Do you think, or do you have any policies that you may create in order for the Trinidad promoters, the international promoters, to be able to hold the hands of the Tobago promoters, so while the festival grows, the Tobago promoter also grows?
And that's what I talked about when I mentioned regulations. So we have to determine, of course, what's the sweet spot for the number of festivals that we could have during that carnival calendar. I remember, I think it was for the first year, you had sometimes 5 events in one day. 2 might be successful, the other 3 will bust. So we had to determine during that period what's the sweet spot. And we're going to explore an arrangement where we can have a licensing arrangement between the Festivals Commission and the various promoters. So people actually have to acquire a license to host events during that period. Now, what that will do is help us to manage the number of events held, because we will know, okay, these are the events that we want to ensure that we have, how many events per day, the timing of the events, and so on, to ensure that we manage it properly. And of course, through that arrangement, we can ensure that more Tobago promoters are able to benefit from that arrangement. And I'm not against people from Trinidad who may want to come to Tobago and do events, but the Tobago Carnival must not be a Trinidad Carnival staged in Tobago. It has to be a Tobago Carnival staged in Tobago for the benefit of Tobagonians, Tobago mass creators, Tobago promoters, Tobago music truck owners, Tobago service providers. And that is the level we intend to take the October Carnival. And let me say as well that the October Carnival, our second carnival in Tobago, was actually a P&M concept, in case you don't know.
Correct. Correct is right.
Yeah.
So while we talk about event tourism, while more persons will visit the island, we also need support for the small tourism operators. So in the future, under PNM-led THA, what support can we expect will be offered to the small tourism operators, such as the guest house operators, taxis, tour guides, and attractions, etc.?
So during the pandemic, this THA, and you know there are some people in blue clothes, they tell a lot of lies. Apparently blue does cut blight, but don't cut lies. But they like to say that the PNM did nothing for Tobago, which, by the way, is one of the most ridiculous claims you could make. But one of the things that we did is that we spent about $100 million to give to accommodation owners, especially the small property owners, to improve their premises and also to digitize their businesses. Because we realized that a lot of the properties were not properly advertising themselves online, and not just the properties, but some of the tour operators. They didn't have proper websites. They weren't necessarily collecting online payments and all those things. So we had to help them to improve their businesses in that regard. And the pandemic, because of that pause, allowed us to do that. So we did that kind of investment in the tourism sector. Going forward, we are going to ensure that we provide similar opportunities to our tourism sector operators. One of the things we have to do is to bring some of the incentives available to the attention of Tobagonians. A lot of Tobago operators do not know that if you are starting a tour business, then you should be able to bring in your boat, your jet ski, and whatever else tax-free. A lot of Tobagonians don't know that. A lot of Tobagonians don't know that if you're starting a taxi business, you should be able to import your taxi tax-free taxi, right? So it's about ensuring that we partner with the central government, who is responsible for those tax-free programs, and that we ensure that Tobagonians are aware of them and are given the necessary support to access those programs. And finally, all those incentives that I mentioned before in terms of the $100,000 grant and the loan guarantee program up to $1 million will also apply to all those tourism sector related businesses.
So you talked about transforming Tobago to a festival island. Over the last 3 years, while some promoters have grown and other promoters have not grown as much, we have seen where Tobago is a spot, event tourism spot. So we're talking about Easter weekend, used to be Great Fete weekend, now we have no replacement, and now Carnival.
Right. We have to try to get that back or replace it.
So I'm very happy to hear that you're turning it into a festival island, because as a promoter, it is easier for us to hold events throughout the year rather than spot events where now all of us gather up to try to fight for the spoils at October Carnival.
Definitely.
So with that being said, it's 2025. It's a technologically advanced society we live in. I was fortunate enough where last year this year I traveled to Brazil, and from the small vendors to the large vendors to everybody, the beach, quote unquote beach bum, all took e-commerce, all took cards, cashless. So my question to you is, While businesses in the tourism sector must be present online to attract visitors before they arrive on the island, what support will be led by the PNM to provide us development for strong e-commerce?
And that's what we talk about when I mentioned earlier about digitizing the island as a whole, right? Not just the tourism sector. Because you're right, we're in 2025. No business should be offline. No business should be still accepting cash only payments, right? So we have to support our businesses towards getting online, towards being able to support their own businesses, because the reality is most people who travel today don't necessarily travel with cash for a number of reasons, for convenience, for safety, etc. And you must be able as a business person to tap into those opportunities utilizing the technology. So we will ensure that we support our businesses. And just like I said before with the tourism upgrades grant that we gave during the COVID period, one of the conditions that the businesses had to meet in their proposals was to ensure that they digitize their businesses. And not only in terms of getting online, but even in terms of their visibility locally, improve signage, improve visibility, and improve marketing. All of those things were part of the package. And under the next PNM, those kinds of arrangements will return, because I'm not sure they currently exist.
So you talked about marketing and visibility. In 2025, one of the most successful marketing tools is social media.
Correct.
So in the next PNM-led administration, what type of social media training, because it is needed, would you do to help the local businessman to improve his marketability and visibility, not just in Tobago and by Trinidad, but the whole region and internationally?
So the tourism sector will benefit from that kind of training, utilizing social media, utilizing technology, of course, to market their business, to meet new customers, and to improve the efficiency of their businesses. But more important than that is that we are going to embark on an island-wide customer service transformation program. Because not just the tourism sector, but across Tobago generally, we are not where we should be with our customer service. I like to say, you probably get the best customer service in Republic Bank. Right? Because I remember starting off in the bank in 2005, September the 19th. I remember it like it was yesterday. And one of the first things they did was to take you to their training center in central Trinidad, and you had to remain there for 3 days. Of course, they paid for you to stay and you travel down on a daily basis, a 3-day training program. And part of that was, of course, an orientation on the bank, what the bank stands for, the values, the philosophies, the services, the standards, etc. But included in that was a program called Customer Service Excellence. And we had to go through that program to learn customer service, because the bank, as a private sector organization, does not assume that anybody that is hired already understands customer service. And therefore, that training, that investment is provided. And we have to do the same. And I'm telling you that the next Tobago House of Assembly administration will take responsibility for transforming customer service on the island. And that will apply to the tourism sector, to the service sector generally, and also to the public sector in the Tobago House of Assembly. We have to improve our customer service. Our lives and livelihoods depend on it.
So, Ansel, I just want to say thank you for answering my questions. And before I go, I just have one important thing to say to the young people. Entrepreneurship is important, not just for development of self, but development of community. As a young entrepreneur from Canaan, Bonaccord, I'm proud to be a proud sponsor of Bonaccord Primary School football team. And it's not just about the business, it's about what the business can add to the community. We could see A&K Rentals giving back to seven-a-side football. I give back to Cane and Bonaccord cricket team. So it is important as young entrepreneurs, not just to open businesses for self, but for the development of your community and for the development of Tobago at large. So again, thank you, Mr. Dennis, for answering my questions. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. So give the Excel boss another round of applause.
The Excel boss.
So I guess we could take some more.
Yeah, let me take some questions on the floor now.
Are we going to have a party? Which one?
Anything you want to know, you tell me.
So you're gonna take a few.
But let me take a little two questions.
Yeah,
let me take two questions on the floor. We have any questions on the floor? Anybody have a question for Quincy? For Ansel? Anybody? What going on there, Kelson? Wait, Kelson, you have a question? Wait. Oh, I thought you say you had a question. You have one for me?
Good night. Question for young people who want to get involved in like operational equipment and things. What do you have in place for that?
In terms of when you say heavy T?
No, like excavator, bulldozing. Who want to learn these things for young people to get involved in these kind of things?
Well, it's something we could look at in terms of providing training opportunities and so on. The question is though, what is the process? Because I'm not necessarily familiar with the process. So people want to learn to operate an excavator and to get the license. I don't know if anybody knows, but is it the same process? You go to the
You go and register to the license.
You are a heavy team, man, so talk to us.
You go to the license office and you register, right? But you
most of the time for the heavy equipment, let me say like a crane, excavator, truck and trailer, and so on. These services are not done here in Tobago licensing office. You could apply here and then they transfer your application to Trinidad. And then you go down there and you do you may be able to do the regulations here, but then you go to Trinidad to do the driving test. And
so that's for excavators too?
Everything once.
Any extra heavy equipment. So once you get heavy T,
right,
which is just like the regular 6-wheeler trucks, the 5-ton trucks, 10-ton trucks, these kind of things, you can get that in Tobago, but apparently you can't get the extra heavy like the long trucks, the trailers, the excavators, steamrollers, these kind of things. Anything that license as X, you have to do the regulations in Tobago, but apparently to do the driving, you have to go the test itself, you have to go to Trinidad.
All right. So I would say that we could look at that and find out the reasons why it has to be done in Trinidad. There might be good reasons for that. So we could look at it and try to understand the challenge as to why it has to be done in Trinidad.
One of the reasons is that none of the tutoring schools, driving schools in Tobago,
right,
licensed and insured to do it. So it does not secure the learner, and it does not secure the licensing officer in the vehicle.
And what is preventing that?
You need to get the insurance for the training schools in Tobago, the driving schools in Tobago.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, good night. I just wanted to add, I think that's a fantastic question. And a lot of young people in Mason or Mariah are bringing it up as well. And part of the concern, just as Fanta was saying, is that they don't have anyone licensed and insured in Tobago. But previously in the PNM government, there was a program that was scheduled to come over under the Ministry of Youth that is now disbanded, basically,
yes, I saw that
to have heavy equipment operators. And there's a conversation that we were having to bring that program to Tobago. Actually, I was speaking to a guy from Mariah who is willing to start back working on the truck and trailer with young persons again. But again, it's just about getting enough people together so that we can get the instructors in Tobago, so that we can get, so again, if you have a group with the Tobago House of Assembly, because say, listen, we are offering this as a program just as we did in the past under the central government to bring young people up to scratch. Because again, for the construction boom that is on the way, we need some heavy equipment operators, crane operators, and so on. So I'm looking forward to something like that in the new dispensation.
Good.
I think we have one more question here, right? You're good? All right. You have an next one?
With respect to the events and the tourism sector, boat rides seem to be a growing event in Tobago. And we don't have the type of ferry that could accommodate a boat ride in Tobago. Right? So persons who want to throw a boat ride normally use the tour boats down at the Bucko Reef. What can we put in place to mitigate that so that we could have that type of experience in Tobago?
Yeah, sure.
So I could answer that for you. So in 2020, the first Tobago Carnival, 2022, we had the Harbour Master come to Tobago. In 2024, the Promoters Association had conversations with, not the Harbour, was the smaller boat that Iowa have?
Sea Champion.
Sea Champion. So what happened with the Harbour Master is that they didn't have the facilities to board or dock anywhere on this side of the island, which is Scarborough and environs. So they did it at Turtle Beach. They made a makeshift jetty, and unfortunately that year is when we had the heavy rains. It's rainy season. We had heavy rains and thunderstorms. They went back to Tobago, went back to Trinidad after 2 days with promoters' money. We only got a refund 4 months after. So the problem with the boats coming to Tobago is, one, they need somewhere to dock, unload and offload for parties, and two, we need enough promoters in Tobago to be able to book the Harbour Master or Sea Champion for a number of days, because we have seen it happen up the islands where the Sea Champion and Harbour Master goes to Barbados for crop over, Grenada for Jab, and Spice Mass, even St. Vincent this year. So what we really need is just conversations to happen between the government, the Promoters Association, and the operators of the Harbour Master and Sea Champion and other smaller boats that would accommodate the size of crowd for a Tobago event.
So as part of our vision for Tobago, there are two projects, two interventions that I believe may accommodate this. One is that we intend to build 3 new fishing ports, something that I mentioned before. And one of those fishing ports will be in Plymouth. And those fishing ports will provide docking facilities for large vessels with easy embarkation and disembarkation. So that's one option. But that's up at Plymouth, and I know Plymouth, it's a fair journey down to Marine Park and those areas where people would like to party. The other option is that we also intend to extend the jetty at Bucko. Now that is going to create an opportunity for more tour vessels and so on to use that jetty. However, depending on the depth as we go further out, it all depends, because I'm not sure of the depth. I can't sit here and tell you how deep it's going to be and if it's going to be deep enough for a large vessel like the party boats to dock there. But if it is, then of course that jetty, the expansion of it, will allow for those opportunities as well.
All right, just before we come on that topic, I think we have a question in the back here.
Yeah, good night. This is in tandem to what you guys were mentioning. Where, you know, me, I'm a seaman, diver, underwater photographer, videographer, and environmentalist as well. A lot of people like to party in the Bonacore Lagoon, whereas it may be the best place to party is not the correct place to party, right? Because it's calm and nice, but number one, the engines that most of the boats tend to have, I think the Sea Champion initially had jet engines initially, and that's the wrong place to actually have anywhere within the Bucko Reef Marine Park to start with. That's not the best place for a vessel with that type of engine to be. And We want everything that Trinidad. We want a party go like them, but then they party in the Gulf of Paria. The Gulf of Paria is a big mud pond. It have nothing there. Our reef area is where we want to party, and that's not the best place to actually have a party boat. So what has happened is the best usage of space for something like that. Anywhere within the marine park is not really the best place for something like that to actually happen. It's not the correct place.
Yes.
It's calm, so it might be suitable, but it's not the correct place. The better place really is anywhere in Turtle Beach, Grand Colon Bay.
Yeah,
right? It's deep enough, it's sandy enough, and it's wide enough, right? And it's calm enough. But most people want to party in the Boca Reef, and it's not the best place. Right? Sure. Nylon pool. It's calm, it's low, and everybody wants to go there, but that's not the right place for that kind of activity.
Yeah.
So ideally, if that kind of industry really should be focused on something that can facilitate that type of infrastructure, and Grand Colon Bay is really the best place for that kind of thing to actually happen. You know?
So, funny enough, you mentioned partying in Nylon Pool. And when I first started partying back in way back when, in 2014, was one of the largest parties at the Nylon Pool. If people could remember, Marshall actually shot his video in Nylon Pool. After that, we were not allowed to go in Nylon Pool and throw parties because of the aftermath, the bottles, the cups, everything like that. So when the harbor master came here and he wanted to do it at Boca Reef and environs in the marine park, the Promoters Association actually told them no, because it will be damaging not just the marine life, the marine biology, and everything in between. So what he said is absolutely correct, which is that over at Turtle Beach, it's calmer, is easier. So with the establishment of a jetty at Plymouth, it should accommodate it. What we have to do, we love the Trinidad elements in our parties. The boat rides, if you want to mirror the boat ride, mirror it without going to Nylon Pool, without going to no man's land, because the aftermath of these boat rides at these marine facilities is detrimental to the already dying Boca Reef.
Definitely.
All right, Quincy and Ansel, we have one more question here.
Mr. Dennis, over the last 5 or 10 years, all of us sitting here and who is listening on the wider world would have heard about a marina. You heard about 3 fishing ports that you want to develop. But we haven't heard anything about a marina in Tobago. A feasibility study was done. I think Cove was one of the possible sites.
Yep.
Plymouth was one of the possible sites. And I think Roxborough or somewhere on the eastern end of the island. What are your plans to develop a marina in Tobago for marinas to berth their vessels when they come to Tobago?
So a marina is in fact a part of the PNM's vision for Tobago, and you will see it in our manifesto when we roll that out. But I want to say that Tobago should have had a marina already, because the last central government under the PNM had plans for a suite of tourism projects to transform Tobago's tourism sector and the economy by extension. Number 1, the airport, which we got. Number 2, the Marriott Hotel, which is still on the way, awaiting EMA approvals and so on. Number 3, the Sandals Hotel, which Watson Duke and Farley tell them to take the hotel and go. But Farley can't tell Kamla now, take her radar and go. But part of that as well was a marina. And you're quite right, feasibility studies were done. We already had the plans concretized with NITCO. We already had an investor on board. And the path was clear towards constructing Tobago's first marina in Southwest Tobago until the THA administration changed. And when NITCO came back to Tobago to complete or continue the process, there you had Trevor James telling the central government, telling the then Minister of Works and Infrastructure that we don't want any marina in Southwest Tobago. We're going to put the marina up at Kings Bay, of all places. Do you all remember that? And since that time, have you heard anything again about any marina in Tobago? So they blocked the marina, they blocked the Sandals, they attempted to block the Marriott, and if we gave them a chance, they would have blocked the airport as well. But they can't block the radar. And they can't block themselves from your treasury. I'm saying to you that under the PNM, we are going to ensure that we pursue a marina for the further advancement and development of Tobago's tourism sector.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Quincy Catron and Sir K. Dennis. Community Conversations, the finale. We're still here. We still have more guests on the inside. But you all know the drill by now. We're going to take a little break. We'll go and get a drink, get something to eat. We are here. All right, we live at Barcode. So, Chief, future Chief, Quincy, all the whole our vibes, huh? Let me play some music for the whole our vibes. And you don't know. We're going to get down to business just now again. So, Chief, you want to make a music man, you know?
I'm a drummer, right?
Right.
But I remember when I was small, well, when I was younger, I'm still young, but when I was younger, I used to play up with some computer software and things.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the software and them.
You feel it was the software? It had many DJ software since.
But it had one from way back when I can't
Virtual
remember.
DJ?
I think was that. Yes.
Virtual DJ?
I think was
Nah. We going past that long time. Now you have to learn Serato DJ Pro.
Okay.
You understand? As a professional DJ, you have to learn the pro programs. That is why you need to come in and bring back programs like T-Pack and things so I can teach them things like this.
Definitely.
Correct?
Definitely.
All right.
Because when we have our events, all the DJs should be from Tobago.
From Tobago.
So once we have quality DJs here,
right?
We don't have to bring up no big DJ.
Which we have a lot.
Definitely.
We do have a lot.
Definitely.
Right? So let me hold a little vibes in the meantime. Community Conversations, the finale. We're here with Ansel K. Dennis, leader of the Tobago Council. So let me hold our vibes in the meantime.
And 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone you're calling. When things get boring, it's back and all you want. I thought I was the one. I thought that this was love. But when I hear the scene, you know she's a right to be. Now I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 24, wine up on you. Unlock your door, open your window. Girl, I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 24, wine up on you. Unlock your door, open your window. She want me go down there, ride it, ride it. She want me go down there, ride it, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said, you're coming San Fernando. She want me go down there, ride it, ride it. So let me go down there, ride it, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said, you're coming San Fernando. 6 o'clock in the morning, she made my love talking. I hear people talking. She tell me pass through the bag. You have a money man day. Look how your bills them paid, and you still playing game. Nobody wins at the end of the day. Well, I know I'm not the one. I know that this is love, but when I check the scene, it's time for me to leave. Now I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 54, wine up on you. Unlock your door, open your window. Girl, I am the last train, heading down to San Fernando. Coming 54, wine up on you. Unlock your door, open your window. She want me go down there, ride it, ride it. She let me go down there, ride it, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said, you come in San Fernando. She want me go down there, ride it, ride it. So let me go down there, ride it, ride it. Tell what she telling me. What she said, you step out of my dream to the real life. This girl, I wanna know you feel like, yeah. Come closer to me, let the stars align. In the middle of the night, you bring the sunshine. This lady, she have a pot on the fire, on a flame when she cooking. Yeah. She have a government name, but I call she good looking. And she look innocent, but she know what she doing. Oh, it's not the pot on the fire, but the seasoning she put in. She have the body higher, higher, higher. Good Lord, Miss Lady, higher, higher, higher. You drive me crazy, higher, higher, higher. Good Lord, Miss Lady, you drive me crazy.
Both at the same time, see me high and drunk at the same time. Girl at the same time, finding on me, girl at the same time. Yeah. Both at the same time, see me high and drunk at the same time. Girl at the same time, finding on you, girl at the same time. See me drunk over woman and me high over the music. So that's so nice that nobody can refuse it. Drunk over woman and me high over the music. So that's so nice that nobody can refuse it. Gosh, baby, this lady, you know say it's your kind of case. Matter of fact, let me do some bass. Then we make a cute soca, baby. If it's a boy, then it's Stevie.
All-Star Aaron.
Yeah, Stevie, yeah, joking. Cause I said it, and I'm floating. You want me drooling, you are fool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here we're going on. This is where we're going to wrap up things for the community conversation. This is the finale. So, I want to give thanks to each and everyone who came out tonight to have a conversation, who came out to ask questions with the leader of the Tobago Council, Mr. Ansel 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐦𝐿. We're liming tonight, we're chilling, we're vibing, we're drinking, and we're socializing with friends. You understand? So, we're going to wrap things up here for the live, but we're going to stay here and party and vibe out inside the barcode. Yeah? So, before we officially close it down on the live, I would like to have some final words from Mr. Ansel 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐿 for you guys, and then we're going to continue the party. We're going to continue liming and vibing. So, take it away, Mr. Dennis.
All right, so I want to thank all of you for coming out to this special conversation, the finale of Community Conversations. Now we have some of our candidates here. I just want to big up Karen Baby Forbes, Plymouth Blackrock. I seen Dominic Train, Kerr down in the back, Bonaccord, Crown Point, Kervin, Harvest God, Oxford, Lambeau Lowlands, Kelvin, Morris, Dial Spring Wim, Akil Guy, Bethesda Likoto, who else they? Carl McQueen, Belgan Glamorgan, Maxon Roberts, Palatovier Lansom Speyside, Dexter Miller, Mason Hall, South, Bagatelle, Quasi Devine was here earlier, Mason Hall, North Mariah, or inside? Quasi by the bar. Sean Adrian was here, Roxborough, Argyle, Petal Benoit, Scarborough, Mount Grace. So give all of them a round of applause. So I just want to give you all some information, right? Ansel Dennis Bukumong present. So I just want to tell you all that from next week, we're taking the campaign up a notch. We're going to the communities with our potent political message. And we want to say to the people of Tobago that this election is about the last 4 years of governance on the island. That is the exam before us. This exam is not about 2001 and 2005 and 2009. That's back then. The people of Tobago corrected the P&M papers back then. They gave us a passing grade, 5 times? And then they gave us a failing grade the last time. No problem. We accepted our failing grade. We went back to the drawing board, and we're here with a brand new, fresh, vibrant team and a bold new vision for the development of Tobago. So the question on the exam paper is, are you satisfied with Farley as your Chief Secretary? Are you satisfied with this current THA administration? Are you satisfied with the level of victimization that is taking place? Are you satisfied with the destruction of your tourism sector, your agriculture sector, and your Tobago economy? Are you satisfied with the fact that all of Tobago's contractors and business persons have been sidelined? That is what this election on January the 12th is about. So join us as we go community to community. Yeah, radar. So join us as we go to the various communities to spread the PNM's message, to tell you, the people of Tobago, what we are prepared to do for you and your development when you give us the opportunity. So that is what our campaign will be about. Stay tuned and join us. So once again, on behalf of the People's National Movement, thank you for coming. And I'm being reminded that we are launching our campaign and introducing our candidates formally to you, the people of Tobago, on the 13th of December, Saturday the 13th of December, 6 p.m. at Magdalena Grand. And the final thing I will say, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., tune into our Facebook and YouTube page. Something special going to be dropping there for you. So, have a good night. Drink out the bar because money spent for that. So, drink it out. Of course, drink responsibly. I don't want nobody staggering out a barcode. Drink responsibly, drive safely, get home safely. And for those of you who may wonder what I was drinking all night, it was Coca-Cola. Have no fear. Good night, everybody.
All-Star Aaron.
I feel your frequency from miles away. You come alive with one wine, baby. Hey. With you, I want to dance the night away. One jam in a lifetime, baby. So don't feel like hey, hey, hey. I don't like the first life. I don't like the bright side. I go take the play. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I just want to come and just a little winding up. Come on, let me breath it up. All day, keep throwing it back. I know why you stop. Baby, no way. Reach as you want when you're ready. I go over here. You're insane, call out in New York City. Say she coming home, but she must have to play. Lauren said, call out in New York City. Say she coming home, cause she must have to play. If you hear she balling, run away. Lauren coming home for carnival, need a little run away.